Indie housing market. Get the latest insights right here.
Welcome back to Indie Housing Market. I'm Kyle Morris with Morris Property Group and FC Tucker.
Hi, I'm Shelly Walters with the Shelly Walters Realty Group and FC Tucker.
And today we have Nate Spangle on with Get In, his podcast Get In and Get In Indy, right?
Get Indiana.
There we go.
Get Indiana.
We thought it would be really, Shelly in particular, like I see your content all the time.
Well, let's just say, how many followers do you have?
175,000 across platforms. So, and they're all like 97% in the Hoosier state. So Indiana.
So most of you may have already seen his
Hopefully,
show.
if the algorithm works the way it's supposed to, you've probably seen a video of me like eating a pork tenderloin or like traveling to the smallest town in Indiana.
Which is the best gig ever, in my opinion. That sounds so, oh my God.
Yeah, so tell us your how you got started, because it's a great story.
Yeah, so I'm from a small town in northern Indiana, went to DePaul University out in Greencastle, moved to Indy in 2019. And I ended up finding my way to a tech company called Powder Keg, where I was employee 6. After maybe a year or two there, we started a podcast. Because everyone starts a podcast. It's the thing to do. And we did a full year of it. This would have been 2023 to 2024. Put out 50-something episodes. No one listens. Everyone has a podcast. No one listens to anyone's podcast. It's so hard. But I loved it. It was so fun getting to sit in there. And I was the voice of youth on the show. So I had to ask the stupid questions. Like, CEOs would come in and we'd just chit-chat for an hour. Like, perfect. As a yapper, perfect job for me. But after a year, no one watched. So our sponsors were pulling out. And we were going to like axe the podcast. And I was like, no, I love this part of my job. I cannot lose this. So I started putting out like accessory Indiana content, trying to drive more people to listen to our podcast. So I put out, I put out a ton of clips from the podcast. No one watched that. I put out my recommendations for date night and restaurants. And like finally, after like 113 videos, I think is the number, one video got over 10,000 views. It was my top 3 coffee shops in Indianapolis.
What are they?
So at the time,
right?
Yeah,
at the time it was Caffeine Provider Java House, and I put Java House at 1. And I was like, specifically the Broad Ripple Monon location, because they open up the garage doors, the dogs are walking by. It's just a
cool
vibe.
environment.
It's a vibe. Mm-hmm. Put that out. I got creamed in the comments. Everyone, you're an idiot. You should move. Leave our city. You're the worst thing ever.
Like
what were they mad about?
They were mad about Java House. They were mad about what I said. They were mad about, because everyone has an opinion.
Yeah.
So,
but you know what? That's what you want. Bad publicity is good publicity.
It wasn't even bad publicity. It was an opinion.
I'm just saying, anything bad and people are listening to you, and that means they even thought about it and threw something. They took time. That's good.
150,000 views later, and I ended up getting like, through doing so, I did like top bachelor parties within a 5-hour drive of Indy. I just put out any sort of like top.
So did you have to go sample these bachelor parties? I've
been on like 17, I think. Like I'm always a bridesmaid, never a bride. It's great. And so through that, I got like 7,000 followers, and like, but still, no one listened to the podcast. And it was March of 2024, and I was like, we were really close to the end. Like, hey, this podcast is taking a lot of resources. It's not making us any money. What are we doing here? That's okay. I have one final shot to like go viral and make sure people listen to our podcast. And the Indy 500 was coming up, and I was like, we should do something huge. And so I put out a video. I was literally walking into work one day. I'm like, if you go back and look at the video, I'm in the parking lot holding a selfie style video, and I say, I'm on a mission to be the first truck in the infield of the Indianapolis 500, and I'm hosting the first ever all Indiana tailgate. Beer, brats, breakfast, beef, everything will be sourced from Indiana. Let me know what brands that I need to work with in the comments. And I had 60,000 views, hundreds and hundreds of comments. Brands were reaching out, Sun King, Upland, Joe's Butcher Shop, like all the places. Kincaid's Meat Market. They were like, we want to be a part of this. We want to be a part of this. We want to be a part of this. And then the only thing was I didn't own a truck. So I had to like go buy a truck.
Shoot, it worked.
Yeah. But I said I was going to do this, so I did. So went and bought a truck from Facebook Marketplace and documented the process of flipping it and getting it. It was in 1986, $3,000.
That's a good deal.
So like it is, but it's like I'm going all in on this. Like, we're $3,000 into this.
Like what am I going to do with this if it doesn't work?
And then all of a sudden, like now I like guaranteed that I was going to provide a tailgate for anyone that showed up. So I'm like, this is either going to like ruin me or what? But it worked. Like All these brands wanted to be part of it. We got there. We were the first truck in line. The truck ran. Like, that was a big piece of it, too.
It didn't die when you turned
Yeah.
So what time did you get in line? Oh, no, I know that's a secret. Maybe that's a secret.
Like 9, 10, 11
we
o'clock.
used to do it back in the day at 5 or 6. Yeah, so that's so funny. That used to be a huge thing to do. So.
Yeah. How'd you cook all that food? I'm sure you had
We brought in Blackstones. Like, my friend. I have a great friend. So we already hosted a tailgate. Yeah. Like, we already would bring 50 people together to host our own tailgate. So we were like, hey, let's just like open it up a little bit more. I'll bring, instead of my friends having to pay for it, we would cook the meat for everyone. We'd do the whole thing, and they just got it all for free. Yeah. So it worked out. We had 400 people come through our tailgate. I got almost 1 million views in that 6 weeks. I gained 15,000 followers, and we made 10 grand in sponsorship. Yeah. Like brands, like we sold like magnets on the side of the truck, and we paired that with videos. And I went back in like the Tuesday after Memorial Day and was like, hey, I know that we're going to axe the podcast. I know that like blah, blah, blah. But like, I want to go chase down this media thing. Like, I think there's a there. So I left my company. I acquired the Get In podcast from Powder Keg and set out to build this media company. That was in like June of 2024. Fast forward to here we are in October of 25, and we have a staff of 4. In the last year, we've gotten 65 million views on our content about Indiana. We work with, it's crazy. We work with some of the biggest brands like Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and the Hoosier Lottery and the Colts and the Pacers and the Fever and all these cool brands. And we're rocking and rolling.
That's fabulous.
And you love it.
It's fun.
Yeah, you're having fun at your job.
Oh my gosh, it's so fun.
Well, and we get a lot of people who talk about how to do a podcast, if you should do a podcast, and I think you just proved that it wasn't easy. You took a long time and you didn't give up, but you had to go through a lot and you did a lot, and you could have given up at any given time.
Yeah, and I think that a big piece of like whether it's growing a podcast is I'm just chronically online, and I'm like hyper obsessed with Indiana. Yeah, and I like live it.
You grew up here?
I was actually born in the country of Georgia and adopted from an orphanage in Russia when I was 9 months old. My parents went and got me and brought me when I was a baby to rural northern Indiana. So people are like, born and raised. I'm like, not born, but raised.
Yeah,
raised in Indiana.
Raised in Indiana.
And so I've been here ever since. And just like being part of like small town communities, kind of like stair-stepping up to Indianapolis, from a 1,500 person one stoplight town with a pizza place and a gas station and a bar to Greencastle. We
just hang out in the cornfields.
Yeah,
you know
right.
What I mean?
You had to be a little creative. To Greencastle that had a Walmart, so I was like, "This is a metropolis." Yeah, right. Come on. And then now to Indy, and I would say a lot of people when they start their podcast, they like put out their clips, but it was like all the extra stuff that like proved that I was Indiana. Like for a time period, I went and memorized every high school mascot in Indiana.
Oh, my.
So, like, there's 400.
What's North Central?
North Central Panthers.
Oh, my God.
That one's easy.
I knew that one.
What's Zionsville?
Zionsville Eagles.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, but I would, like, get the, like, Northeast Du Bois fighting Jeeps or the Shoals Jug Rocks. Oh, yeah. There's some... Or the, there's so many
ones. Like I got a bunch of buddies from Logansport, and it's
the Berries,
but it's Felix the cat.
Yeah. Or like, that was the first mascot, though.
I want to take you to my my next trivia night.
Yeah,
I'm the Artesians, and it's a well.
Yeah, it's like the water. Yeah, like,
I can see you at trivia.
Yeah. Oh, if it's Indiana trivia, I'm a unit, right?
That's funny.
But I like did, it was a 26-part series, and then people were in the comments waiting for me to say theirs, or like saying you need to go here next. And now I'll be out in public, and kids will run up and be like, New Palestine. And I'll say, go Dragons. And it's like a thing. It's a gimmick. I learned every county and county seat. So, like, people would quiz me. We
learned that in school.
Yeah.
I don't even remember that.
But I remembered them. And so, like, just the other day, I did in 3 minutes, I got all 92 in the counties and the county seats.
That's awesome.
And so it's just like...
Or even though, like, the original state capital, right? Like,
like well, the territory of the state. Yeah, like, which one? You want Vincennes or you want Corydon?
Like, right? Yeah.
So I just, like, became hyper fixated about the state of Indiana and learning all of these things. And like, it was a party trick for me. Like, I memorized high school mascots because I was not good with names. So you'd be like, oh, I'm from Logansport. And I'd be like, let's go Berries. And I wouldn't remember his name was actually Barry. You know?
But you felt connected because...
that starts the conversation.
He knows me. And I was like, I was just bad with names. But I could remember high schools and mascots.
I think I have an idea for your next podcast. Have a trivia contest.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Have all the people come and see who you can get for winners. And
that'd be fun.
It would be real
host
fun.
Like a game show. Like I want to host.
That would be your game show.
Yeah, and like, but not like on a podcast setting. Like we build a studio, and it's like Indiana Jeopardy.
Remember,
or
like
Wheel of
they do
Fortune.
the Hoosier Lottery one at the State Fair or whatever. They
Oh,
used
yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
To me, like, I just think it's really neat because I've been to, I've traveled some here in the past couple of years, right? And like, it's really neat to go to these other cities and see, like for me, like I call it, it's like it right sizes me, right? To like go to this different city and be like, oh, nobody knows my problems or anything about me, and to see the culture there. And some of these cities, like, if you go to Hawaii, or I've been to Europe and these other places, and it's just so interesting. And we take it for granted how dynamic our culture is here, because oddly enough, like in the Midwest, we tend to be siloed within it, if that makes sense. And we have so much going on here that I don't think people even know about, because people just kind of like stay in their lane a little bit.
Yeah.
And so like you just don't know about it.
Well, and people are humble.
Yeah,
Like, if
yeah.
I were to say, that is a lovely shirt, the average Hoosier response is, thanks, it was 95% off. I got it on the free. And it's like, oh, but like in California, you're like, yeah, my chain was $10,000 and my shirt was $150 and my car was $1 million. Like, and you want to flex. But here, that's not cool.
Actually, it's quite the opposite, right? Like we've talked about that on this podcast in particular. Like I think the idea of luxury branding does not work well in the Midwest, because that's just not how we are, right? And then, I met my buddy down in Miami. Like when I went down there and talked to him, like he has this saying. He's from here originally, and he's like, everybody in Indy is fighting to be the tallest midget, right? Like you go down there or whatever, and it's like
Me
money's
and him
different.
would not get along.
But
Buster.
it's all about, like, we do just operate differently here, right? And we are more humble and like less flashy and stuff like that, so people don't know about things.
Well, and it's interesting though. It's like you'll be surprised the guy that walks down the street or the gal that walks down the street in like normal clothes that just like could buy whatever you wanted with $100
The best
bills.
scene of Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
Really? Big mistake. Yeah, don't ever take advantage of what
Yeah.
somebody looks like.
Absolutely.
We went to, Saturday night, we went to Cyrus Place for a concert. It's a candlelight concert. It was very cool. 4-string quartet.
Oh.
And
Oh yeah, so the Adele. You went to the Adele.
yeah,
one?
the Adele music is so cool, but it's on. It might be something you might want to look at, but it was beautiful, and it was a great date night. But the part of it is we had to park and sit for a while because we were early, and we were in Lockerbie. Now I can't tell you the last time I purposely went to Lockerbie, but we were sitting, and the sign for James Wickham Riley was there. My husband's not from this area, and I had to have the whole conversation with him about who James Wickham Riley is, and that we're sitting right by his house. And I'm like, I am traveling within my own city, and I was walking around the beautiful houses. I just love the architecture. I love Lockerbie. People need to sit and go to just their area. Like you were just talking, it's like we travel all over the place. Travel here.
It's
like,
nice.
where's
Yeah.
a place you would say would be a really cool place to travel? Just stay in your state.
Yeah. I'm going to go for the big metros. There's 3 areas. Well, I mean, I have something like everywhere, but I just got back. So I might be one of the only people that in a span of like just over a week, I went to South Bend, I went to Fort Wayne, and I went to Evansville. I've covered almost the region. Always gets mad at me. I did not make it up to Crown Point, but I was really, really impressed with how they activate the river in South Bend. Like, I think we're a river city here in Indianapolis, but like everyone, the White Rivers has like a bad rap, And like they've been doing a ton of work to like clean it up, and
It was really bad.
Unfortunately, we are paying for the sins of this industrialization in the 1900s.
Yeah.
But South Bend, St. Joseph River is so beautiful. The Mishawaka Riverwalk, the South Bend River Lights. It's an incredible river district where they do have restaurants and stuff along it, but I just loved walking it. Like you go for a jog, and it was just like there was a vibrance and an energy that I did not suspect. I grew up near South Bend, and I kind of always overlooked it. I was floored. I thought it was so cool. Obviously, if you go up for a Notre Dame game, it's crazy. Like the whole place there's so much energy there. But we were not there for a Notre Dame game. We were just up there being a visitor in a city that I grew up 30 minutes from, and I was really, really impressed. I will give you a secret when it comes to like traveling within your state. So like Brown County, so well known.
Yes,
Like,
love
it's
it.
very, very well
Love
known.
it. Especially right now. It's
Oh,
beautiful.
Yeah. The leaves turn. It's beautiful. Everyone knows, like, to the point where they got to be like, you can't have Airbnbs within a mile of another Airbnb. Like, they make the districting and the zoning or whatever. Just a little bit over there is Martin County, where Shoals is. And Shoals, this is like if Brown County did not get hit by commercialization, is that the right word? Like it just has not been as widely broadcasted that like this area of the state is beautiful. The trees, the river, the river rock, like I don't know what those are called, but like where the river goes and there's like rock faces where it's like, I don't know, it's crazy. There's just such a cool little area. So I was floored by Martin County. I thought that like getting an Airbnb down that way and just touring around, they still have like cash only diners down there and some cool stuff. Like I like that. I mean, I can find stuff all over the state.
I like to find the old still.
Velma's in Shoals does not accept cash. It's like a really good greasy heart attack on a bun.
It's like working man's friend, or like Long's. Long's still doesn't take anything but cash.
Isn't that crazy?
That like blows my mind, right?
Yeah.
You also said, like, we were going to talk about Humble and this. You said you went down to the fall festival down at Evansville, right, Greg? We had a massive whole conversation about that before we got on the air, because evidently it's the second largest street festival besides Mardi Gras, and I'm like,
in Indiana.
Let me tell you about this. Okay, so for the last 2 years, I have gotten no less than 250 comments. People are like, he never talks about Evansville. We're the redheaded stepchild of the state. Blah, 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 blah. All this stuff. They're like, come to the fall festival. I bet. And
everybody wants you. That's awesome.
This one guy, I put him out on Instagram because he commented, and he was like, you are so biased. You probably won't even come to Indiana. You won't come to Evansville for the fall festival. And he kind of pissed me off, honestly.
Oh,
and I was like, you know what? Watch me. I'm coming.
Watch this.
And so we went down, and we were already planning. The thing was, we were already planning on going, but his comment just irked me. So I was like, I did this whole, and I'm like pouring it over the top of what we're doing for Evansville. I was like, I love it. Let's go. We went down there. We toured the fall festival. When you think of fall festival, everyone thinks of pumpkins and ghosts and corn mazes and all that. There was not a single one. Like, this is a legitimate street food festival. 134 different food booths. That's spread down like 5 blocks. You could go for a decade and try different booths, and you would never be able to try them all. So we go there. We tried 12 different food booths, and I thought I was gonna roll over, and like my belly hurts so bad. But it was so good. So we go down there. The thing that I loved about it, every nonprofit in the area, they all host a booth. So they'll sell chicken and dumplings. They'll sell French waffles and pork tenderloins. But it's not just like your normal, everyone sells a burger, fries, tenderloin. They had a pulled pork parfait made with burnt ends. So it was like gravy, corn, mashed potatoes, cheese, like beans, meat. And it was so good.
This is all Indiana Hoosier food,
These
too.
are just like you need to like then plan like to maybe fast afterwards.
Yeah.
But it was but it wasn't like it's 104 years old. So the fall festival is like, it's just a legacy brand, but it's not like a normal fall festival where you're drinking just apple cider and, going to a corn
pumpkin
maze.
donuts and,
it was
candy apples or
it
whatever.
was so like there was Cajun food and boudin balls and like all this crazy stuff.
What week is that? Do you know?
I don't.
The first weekend?
I think it's the first full weekend.
First full weekend.
So, or first full
October.
week. Okay, because it starts on a Sunday with Family Day and ends on a Saturday.
Oh, wow.
So it
So
goes
you
the
get a
entire-
chance
So
to
we
get
went
down
on a
there.
Wednesday night. There was at least 20,000 people there on a Wednesday night in Evansville, Indiana.
I can't believe I've never heard of this.
They gain over, so they did all like the tracking and a study. 200,000 people come through in the week. It's crazy. The second largest street fair behind Mardi Gras. Like, it just totally changed my perception on Evansville.
Which
Totally
is crazy.
crazy.
So, like, maybe they are the redheaded stepchild. That's great to have something that big that is that well attended. And like I've grown up here. I've never even
I've never heard. I grew up here
marketing.
too.
That's marketing because Fall Festival blends in.
Yeah.
Everyone and their brother is hosting
Every
their
county
Fall
has
Festival.
one.
Yes, and
That's
it's like,
true, too.
And like they're like, no, but it's like, and I'm here to tell you today, it is different. It is so different. It's not even close.
But like you said, it's not the same as pumpkins and
No,
hay bales
but
and
that's just a
everything.
marketing
But that's
issue.
what we could do
Yeah.
here. So
But
why
I-
would you drive there if I can do that here? But like you said, it's marketing.
But the cool
You're
part
not
about that
telling
is,
me
like,
why. Tell me why I'd come to Evansville,
Yeah,
right?
that's why. And then we put out videos, and they got like, we're at like 500,000 views on like the 2 videos that we've dropped from there because I ate a brain sandwich.
Oh.
And it's like, that's not a fall food, but it was like a fried pork brain, and it was crazy. And like the taste wasn't bad, but I had a mental block. Of
I was
like,
like, I can't do this.
I was like,
But that
Did
goes back
you
to,
like it?
I don't know if I ever have to get it again.
Yeah.
But like, I'm glad I
Yeah,
did
me
it
too.
It wasn't bad.
Like,
You
there
got
will-
smarter.
There will be there. There you go. There will be an hour line waiting to get the brain sandwich
Oh,
because that's just what they're known for. There's zombies down there. The redhead
Raquel's
stepchild.
dad loved brain tacos, and I couldn't get it, and I would have to stop and get those at this taco place in Tipton when I was coming through, and even looking at them, I just no.
Were they like deep fried
I don't know.
or no? Oh, so this was
I
deep fried
don't know.
brain. and
Yeah,
it was-
I doubt it was deep fried.
There's a
So-
taco place that we tried that had some, and I tried it, and it was, I don't know. I mean, it was hard to even tell what it was, right? Honestly, it's like kind of like a rubbery texture, but not, you know.
bounces. It
Yeah,
bounces
bounces.
back.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you
it's
chew
odd.
it, it bounces.
Oh God!
Yeah, but it's not like odd. You know what I mean? It's just
I
kind
mean,
of
it's
like,
not like-
it's almost
yeah.
like overcooked pork or something.
Yeah,
you
maybe
know?
if
It's
they
just-
don't tell you what it is, you'd
No,
be fine.
if they wouldn't have told me what it was,
Yeah.
I would have been fine.
Yeah,
If they
yeah.
would have been like, ha ha ha, it's not really brain, and I ate it, they're like, ha ha, it's brain. But
Yeah.
I just like was like chewing it, and I went to
Yeah,
swallow,
you
and I was
know,
just like,
yeah.
But it goes back to like the humble piece because they market that way because they're like, but this is what we.
this is our
this is who
104
we
year old.
Yeah.
are, and
This is
like,
our legacy fall
Yeah.
festival. Why would we ever?
And
like,
why do they
change
need
anything?
more to come? Right? You're saying how many hundreds of thousands are already coming?
Well,
Like,
because they
you
want to
know?
get people to buy more of the half pot tickets. So this year, well, last year was actually the first time they broke $2 million on their 50-50. So they call it a half pot. Some people
That's
call it split the
crazy.
pot. Some people call it a 50-50.
Yeah.
But it got over $2 million. It was the largest 50-50 in North America. And what they do, half of it goes and is distributed to Evansville charities as grants. So $1 million goes to whoever the winner is, and $1 million goes to the local community. So like a lot of the fundraising done in all of Evansville is done in
done
1
that
week.
week.
So they don't have to like send your kids out to sell chocolate bars and stuff. You just like go
Trash
and buy
bags and-
yeah, you just go and buy the French waffle, and the band kids get all the money that
That's
they
so
need.
fun.
So it was really this year got up to 2.6 million.
That's crazy.
So
And
1.3
somebody got 1.3
Somebody got
million.
1.3 million. I mean, it's a little less after fees and taxes and all stuff, but like someone made $1 million.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
So if we were like we say this a lot, somebody will always make a phone call and say, "I want to move to Carmel. I want to move to Fishers," and they don't even live here; they live in some other state. So that is always interesting to me. How did you come up with coming here? Like just this past weekend was the Carmel, at the Carmel Natatorium, we had the huge world swimming. So people hear about us all the time. If you had somebody, like for me, so I can, like you said, you can throw out the name of the mascots, start a conversation. If somebody said to me they were wanting to move to Carmel, can you tell me something I should say like, oh, have you heard about this in Carmel? Like something fun, interesting? I hate to throw you on the spot. Or
No,
what?
I was looking for a picture real quick. That's like the craziest thing ever. So like if you were moving to town from, let's say California.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a lot of people.
boy. Okay. Because, yeah, this is true. Like, they hear about how great Carmel, Indiana. Because I will say, Carmel specifically, if you were to paint, like, what do you want in your perfect utopian society? Right?
Yeah.
You want local restaurants. You want a vibrant community space in the center
active.
of downtown. You want trails and good schools and safety and all these different things. And, like, so many small towns across the country are like, well, this is what we want, but we don't want to be Carmel because Carmel has this bad rap to it.
Yes,
And they're like,
it does.
but if you were to just paint the picture of what it is Carmel.
Yeah.
Like
They just don't want the perception.
They just don't want the perception that we're better than you, even though like
The best thing that would come here is a Hallmark movie.
at the Kiss Kindermark, right?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. At the skating rink.
So
That's what we need.
I would say the number one, if you were moving to Carmel and you wanted to stay and you wanted to love it, I would actually say it's not any one place or a restaurant or thing.
Right.
It's get active with a person. Like meet a friend. Like go out there and talk to people. It's not weird. Like it is not weird to talk to someone at the grocery store. It's not weird to walk up and talk to someone.
well,
when
you're
at a
talking to
bar or
probably
wherever.
3 people at the table
Yeah.
that will and
But,
do.
like, I had a guy who used to work at Facebook, and then he had invested in properties in Indiana, in Indianapolis specifically, and ended up moving his family out here. And he was like, the first 6 months we were here, like someone tried to help carry our groceries to the car.
Yeah,
and
like,
I was like,
"Don't
hey,
touch me." Yeah.
back off. Like,
Yeah.
don't steal our groceries. And he was like, it took him at least 6, almost a year to realize that this was like authentic Hoosiers. And I would say, like, if you want the true difference, like, is Carmel beautiful? Yes. Is like a concert at the Palladium great? The Monon Trail, all these things, they're spectacular. But like everyone has their trail, everyone has their this, everyone has their that. What I would say is like find the group. whether it's like YPCI for young people, or it's a networking group, or if it's, maybe it could just be like find friends, go to yoga, do whatever, join a gym, but talk to people and find a friend and like ask them to coffee or do that whole thing. And if you meet a Hoosier, it will open the doors to a million other Hoosiers, and it'll truly be, everyone talks about everyone's only one call away in this city. It's so true. But like, get your first friend, and then that will make this place even better. And then you'll explore all the places.
Because it's everywhere. It's in every suburb that we have has something like that, right? And then, I mean, in the city, actually almost gets overlooked these days because we have so much outside of it, you know, which is crazy. Because, like, I want to go on the Pogues Run, right? Like, I want to do that. I haven't done it. I've been here, like, my whole life.
River, underground, downtown, like, it's crazy. Here's a DM that I got maybe a month ago. So, my husband and I wanted to let you know your podcast was helpful in us deciding to move to Indiana. We are from Southern California, and a couple years ago, with the arrival of our first child, we decided we did not want to stay in California anymore. Long story short, we narrowed the list down to 3 different states. 2 of them had family in them, and Indiana was the only one that did not have family. It was the furthest from any family, actually, but it had 2 friends here. God pressed on our hearts to come to Indiana, and though we were nervous, your podcast really helped us see how diverse the state really is. We've been here since April and already love it. Indiana is like the middle child, often overlooked and not flashy, but when you stop and pay attention, it is truly incredible.
That's fabulous.
That's crazy.
That's like a commercial.
Yeah. Like, talk about economic development. Like, these people moved across the state, across the country, to a place where they didn't have any family,
know anybody.
And they're loving it. And I'm sure, like, I hope, my wish would be they've made friends and start to get ingrained in everything that is Hoosier. My favorite Hoosiers are the Hoosiers by choice. They could be anywhere. They could be in California, and they've seen other things. Because when I sit here and hype it up, like, I've lived in Indiana my entire life, like, all except 9 months. Like, I am very Hoosier, you know, and I rave about being from Indiana. My favorite is when you have someone that's from somewhere else and has seen other things, and they come on the show and they're like, dude, this place rocks. Like, I don't know what people are complaining about. Like, usually it's the people that have been here their entire life that are complaining that 100%. It's so much better somewhere else where they've been a visitor or gone on vacation.
Oh, people complain here about, like, property taxes. We got so many people who moved here from Texas and California and
Illinois,
because,
New York,
we have it made in the shade here. People are like, our values are going up. We're like, like, we still have, like, the best situation ever here. And people do move here because of that. And then we've kept it a secret for so long. Now people know, and then it costs more to live here, unfortunately. Not just here, but across all of America, right?
It's kind of happening, but the publicity that all of these areas, Fishers, Carmel, Westville, Noblesville, Zionsville, Indianapolis,
we have so many conferences
crazy
here downtown. Like, we're one of the best cities for it.
It's interesting. I will pose a problem that there is, right? Because it does get more expensive to live in desirable areas, but that's not new.
Yeah.
It's always been more expensive to live in desirable areas. And, like, that's just the way it goes. What unfortunately is happening is central Indiana continues to grow and expand, right? And, like, we're here near some of the most expensive real estate that the state of Indiana has to offer in Midtown Carmel, right? Yes, that's fair. And, 20 years ago, you might have been able to get a spot here. But what's happened is rural communities, I would say within 2 hours and under of Indianapolis, they're the ones that I'm pretty sure, my hypothesis is, again, don't fact check me on this, please, but I believe that so much of central Indiana is expanding due to people from the Greensburgs of the world, the Andersons of the world, the Muncies, the Kokomos even, coming to Indianapolis because they can FaceTime their parents during the week and they can go home on the weekends. Like, if they want to, as they start to have families, it used to be really important to go back to Jasper, to Logansport, to wherever that is. Now they're like, oh, well, with these new roads and all this jazz,
31 is specifically. Kokomo's becoming a new suburb of Indianapolis. It's really starting to grow because of that.
That's creating issues, though, right? Because we're doing that, we're taking a talent pool from rural areas. And so, like, we have, like, hospitals. Like, there's no major hospitals in a lot of rural communities anymore because they're coming here. It's like satellite hospitals is about the best you kind of get, right? And so when you're doing that, we're losing resources, and so, like, the socioeconomic gap between central Indiana and more rural is getting broader.
Like, I'm not saying you have to go to college or have to be book smart to build a business or be a leader or do anything like that, but, like, historically, I would say the top 10% of every graduating class, you're going to find like leaders and, colleges, they're going to come back home and maybe they open a business and, take over their legacy business, whatever it is. Today, those top 10%, I would say the vast majority are not returning to rural Indiana.
They're not even staying in Indiana historically until recently.
Right. So I do think that I'm curious to see what the economic impact of that has on these local smaller communities across Indiana. Like, I'm a perfect example. Town of 1,500, went to a school with, a town in Greencastle has like 12,000 to Indianapolis. And unfortunately, I don't have any plans to like go back full time to home. And a lot of my friends that went out and went to college are that way as well.
Yeah, one of the things we talked to some mayors here too, of Carmel, Fishers, and the mayors
Mayor
have
the
conversation is that unfortunately our high school kids who leave here to go to college can't come back because they can't afford it. So they can't even come back to their hometown because of the price of housing unless they move back in with their parents.
At least in Hamilton County.
So that's one of the things the parents or the mayors are really trying to work on that.
You guys did such a good job here making it great that now our kids can't come back. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, which is crazy because it's like, well, then that's also how the rest of the areas are getting built up, right? Like being from the South Side, being from Martinsville, like I never in a million years thought Bargersville would have $900,000 houses in it. You know what I mean? Like it was like
I've watched Bargersville for a long time.
And then Greenwood. You know what I mean? Like, there was nothing in between. And now, like, Center Grove has just exploded in such an amazing way that it is just everywhere. And so, like, it is kind of like, Southside. It's not Southside Carmel, but you know what I mean? Like, it's a very robust area.
But it is, right?
But they don't, well, I don't want to say it because they don't want to be called that, right? So, but you know what I mean? So, but then, like, Greenfield has exploded, right? Like, Danville's, Brownsburg. Oh, my gosh. Brownsburg and everything that they're doing with that high school is insane. Like, it borders like what Carmel has done. It's insane what the growth that we've seen, and so like I think it just keeps expanding. I think it keeps going further out towards like I think Newcastle will slowly get more developed. I think Anderson will look more like Franklin in the next 10 years because Franklin is this cute, amazing
Franklin.
town.
Yeah.
They both have a private college. I mean.
Well, you were
Danville.
saying before we started, what is the new and up and coming town out by Fortville that you're seeing?
I just read an article about Ingalls, Indiana. So I want to get the stat right so I make sure I don't butcher it. But so Ingalls had a population of 2,200 in the last U.S. Census Bureau or the U.S. Census in 2020. Town manager, his name is Neil. Neil anticipates the community will grow to between 12,000 and 15,000 within the next decade in Ingalls. It's off I-69 up there past Fortville. But they're getting that. Like, have you guys been to downtown Fortville?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Was it Fox Garden? Like that little restaurant?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Taxman's out there.
That all of that drive,
Broadway
again, was
Diner.
way out there. Like, well, let's just say Deer Creek was way out there, just
now
watching
it's like not even, now you think that it's like in the mix of
Carmel, it's right in the middle of everything.
I live in McCordsville, so I love it out there. Fortville is amazing what they've done, and even then, like Fishers is like kind of annexed over into like now they abut each other, and so it's just kind of wild. Downtown Fortville is really cool.
It's
like
quaint.
It is. I mean, it's really neat. But so I was talking to somebody the other day about because I was at Sagamore for like an event, and why is there nothing like Bridgewater, Chatham, Sagamore, Hickory down in Greenwood or whatever? There's no like golf course community out there, nor over kind of Brownsburg, Avon area.
Well, the land, if you had to put one there, if it's not already there.
There's a lot of ag. Yeah,
but I mean, if you had to go from scratch to make a golf course.
But there is land out there.
I know, but that would be so
Well,
expensive. You could put more houses on there and make more money.
I think the next one will be over by Lebanon. Like, I think all those Lilly people will want some sort of Chatham 2.0 up that way.
Lebanon is a huge
Well, there's Promontory, but Promontory's small, right? It's not like Chatham. But, I mean, so we're like, hey, why would somebody do it that far out? Like, when I first came to Indianapolis back in 2002 from college, like, went to IU, came up here, I can't imagine there being $1 to $3 million homes at 191st and Tomlins.
I know.
Like, that is so far north back then. Yeah, I mean, 146 was a 2-lane road, right? Like,
I
it sound
lived
like
on
my
it when it was a
parents,
2-lane road. Yeah, and I heard a 4-lane was coming, and I moved.
Like, for Deer Creek, it was the McDonald's, Fisher's exit, and then, like, Pine Lakes was next.
When I
right?
moved to
Like, there was
Sunblest,
nothing.
we had to eat at McDonald's 5 times a day, it seemed like, because the kids would get hungry, we were hungry, but we're moving, and there was no place else to eat but McDonald's, so I get that. We know that you have a hard stop, and so just want to say that I'm so excited that you're here and came along, and all your, I mean, we could talk forever. To you
absolutely.
So much. So you have one last thing that you want to throw out there that you could share?
I'd be curious to ask you guys, where do you see the biggest opportunity for people who maybe they're younger and want to get into their first house? Like, I feel like a lot of times, going and buying a starter home in the Broad Ripple area was kind of like what people did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And nowadays it's like you can get in there for under $300,000.
Correct.
I got lucky. I bought my house back in 2019 when it was still like a normal person's market. And so I live in Broad Ripple, and I'm too broke to move. Like, I can't, I gotta wait and keep building up and go. But I would be curious to see where you see people that are 25 to 30 getting their first homes at.
I definitely say Carmel. It's Home Place. Home Place is an area on the south section of it, right above North 96th and College area.
Yeah, where the normal houses are.
Well, and
where us normal folks, single story.
Yeah.
And they're, big trees in the yard, big yards and everything. But that is your Carmel entry area.
Yeah.
You're still in the Carmel schools and everything. So Home Place is definitely
Is that
one of the
like
places.
over? There's like a roundabout, and there's like maybe a State Farm that looks like it's in a barn type thing.
There's 106th and College is its little central area.
106 and 106 in College. That's where I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, oh,
This is
these
odd.
people look like home. Like, this looks normal to me. Like, this must not be Carmel.
So, and it's a great area, but it is your starter area, the best place to get
For
into
Carmel,
Carmel for a
right.
beginning.
For now.
But like
for beginning.
outside of that, right? Like, if I can just step away from Carmel, I mean, it's price or location, and if you want to be in the city, I would say, like, I love the Ivy Hills area.
Where's that at?
So it's like, think like 79th and Allisonville area.
Oh, yeah. I do
kind of
like
by
that.
Steinmeier area like that. There's
Yeah.
a lot of 70s
Yes.
ranches, 60s
My
ranches.
best friend lived up in that area.
Really cool.
Yep.
You can get them, they can get real pricey real quick. But I mean,
You can get
also
a little
do-
bit of like some plots out there by Dean Road that are like pretty sick.
That's correct, right? And so like
I've got my eyes on them.
yeah, so that area is really good. I mean, when I first moved to the city, I was over in like the new Augusta area. So now you're talking West Side, Pike Township, like 79th in Michigan. Like, there's some good stuff over there. I mean, I know all over, but like those are really good areas if you want to get out a little bit.
You have to go looking at what we're talking about, Lebanon and
Danville.
Sheridan and all of those towns. Kokomo is huge. Now, this is talking about getting away from the city, but sometimes you have to get to the prices you
Do you both
want.
live in Hamilton County?
I do not. I live in Hancock County.
Oh, Hancock
I live in
County?
I live in
McCordsville.
McCordsville?
I live in Carmel.
In Carmel? If you had to go somewhere different that wasn't your home today, where would you go?
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
I would move to Morris.
Reservoir?
Yeah, just because
Cicero?
Yep, my wife is from there. I live really close to Geis, and I like being able to drive across the causeway every day. It's kind of like my decompression, right? And then when I clock in,
Leave your
Yeah, dude.
stress in Hamilton County, baby.
well, so and plus there's really mature trees, and I was like, it feels like you're not in the city, but you're in the city. And then Morris is also like that. So I like Oak Bay up there, and there's just a bunch of good neighborhoods up there. I would say that's what I would do. If I had to move outside of Hancock County, that's where I would go in particular.
If I could go and do whatever I wanted, I would like to get back. I grew up on a farm, and I would like to get into some farmland. And I have a listing coming up in Kokomo, and when I was driving up there back and forth to that property, I would just love to go north wherever I could. Stay on 31 so I could easily get back and forth, stay near that. But it would be farmland, 4 or 5 acres, have all the cats that could come and go whenever they wanted.
Classic.
So farmland would be nice.
Martinsville, I would, when I think about growing up, so you want to go north, and I just think it's so flat because Martinsville is right where the topography really changes, and
Do you know why this is?
Yeah, glaciers.
Yeah, the glaciers stopped right there.
Yeah,
right?
I tell people that they're like,
Yeah.
"What do you
The
mean?"
glaciers
I'm like,
pushed it all.
They stopped.
That's where they
So,
stopped. So that's why it's flat and fertile up north, and then like
Yeah.
it's it's hillier.
Rocky and hills and limestone and all that jazz. As soon as
Yeah,
you
the
get further south.
limestone's crazy because a lot of houses down there have limestone fireplaces. Like
So-
every
so
fireplace has a
here's-
limestone fireplace.
So what's neat about there though is like people are like, "What was it like?" It's like it sucks to grow up there as a kid because there's just nothing to do. Now, don't get me wrong. This is like in the 80s and 90s, right? So it's much different. I would raise a family there in a heartbeat because it is so kind of like just pretty. You know what I mean? And, like,
And your kids
you
would
can
say the
afford
same
stuff,
thing
and it's a good
today.
school
And-
system.
Yeah,
And
probably.
I would say constraints breed creativity.
Yeah.
So like growing up in a small town where there wasn't a 24-hour McDonald's or there wasn't like we did have to get creative and
Yeah.
we learned how to entertain ourselves and like
Yes.
and at times it got you into trouble for sure. But
Yeah.
also like today I am not afraid to like go visualize something and build it from nothing. You know, like, okay, we want to host a party here on Saturday night in the middle of a cornfield. We got to figure out how to do it and make sure that everyone has a great time.
That's so funny because I grew up in a town of 200.
We're at.
And it's called Newtown, Indiana, near Attica,
Newtown.
Logansport, Wingate.
Wow. What school system does that feed into?
It's Fountain Central.
Fountain Central. Go Mustangs.
Yeah, I remember that too.
There we go.
There you go. You're awesome.
Man.
But anyway, yeah. So, that's probably where our roots in being able to just be humble is from small towns. I mean, you go in a small town, you know everybody, you talk to everybody, everybody knows what you're doing, so you can't get in trouble. Not easily.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for
absolutely.
joining us, and we'd love to have you again. But we'll
my
jump
gosh.
into the stats. I'll go into Carmel.
Yeah.
So Carmel, 27 hit the market in the past 7 days. Of those, 14 pended. A total of 35 pended. So we did lose inventory. Average days on market for the past 7 days was 27. Median was 12. 105 have sold in the past 30 days with the average days of 23 and median 7. So we're staying pretty steady at about a 30-day average. Active homes, 202 on the market. 82 is the average days on market for these 202 sitting. So just kind of want to let you know, sellers and agents, if you're listing a property, if you don't make it in that first 30 days, you're going to be sitting for about 3 months. So price is going to be what gets you the 30-day mark or the 90 to even more. So just kind of know that we're seeing an average of 27, but if it's not priced right, you're going up to 3 months automatically. Westfield, 34 hit the market. Only 3 sold in Westfield of those 34. 19 total sold. Average days on market in Westfield was 81 this past 7 days with a median of 47. I took the new builds out, and then that only dropped the average days down to 60. So it's not really a big difference from the new builds being in there. So Westfield is staying slow. 124 did sell in the past 30 days with an average days of 34 and a median of 16. So this past 7 days, we went up from 34 average to 81 over the past 21 days. Total on the market right now is 289. Average days on market for those is 74. So we're looking at about 2.5 to 3 months in Westfield. Zionsville, 11 hit the market. 4 of those pended, a total of 14 pended. So we lost inventory. 46 average days on market, 30 median for the past week, and 39 sold in the past 30 days with an average of 55 and a median of 21. So we're looking at around 1.5 months, 2 months for Zionsville. But the sitting active homes, there's 84 and the average days of 80 and the median of 46. So again, price your houses right or you're going to be setting for a little bit longer. Just want to mention that there is rumblings going around that a bunch of neighbors got letters from lawyers about a new 700-acre neighborhood, 700-acre neighborhood coming in Westfield. I need to stop speaking.
That's
700
massive.
acres in Westfield.
That's a ton.
Huge neighborhood development coming up, and they're going to be talking about that at some of the
I wonder
upcoming.
how long that's out. I mean, they're still working on the one in Noblesville up by Morris right now. In Fishers, I don't know. We were on last week. I feel like the past 2 weeks, so now 3 weeks, things have kind of changed a little bit. There's been a slight uptick. I'm curious to see what happens with the fall breaks or whatever, but we'll see kind of how it plays out over the next 4 weeks. But like in Fishers, I had 23 go on to market, five pended within a week, right? So 18 or so on there, but 28 pended. So I lost inventory in both places, in Fishers and in Noblesville. In Fishers, we had anything from 235. So like what Nate was just saying, you can get a place for 235 in Fishers, which would be a kind of a starter home these days, all the way up to just under 12 million with the Andretti house that went on the market, which is absolutely amazing property. Yeah. Days on market. I mean, if I look at the actives, it's 67. If I look at the pending, it's 35. In Noblesville, 23 went on the market, only 4 pended in a week, so 19 are still on there, but 31 pended, so I lost inventory there. I got like 246 on the market. It's the same though. It's like pending is average days is 32, but for actives it's 62, right? So the price points there was anywhere from 129 to just under 1.4 million. As I'm looking at this, I mean less than 10% of homes sell in a week. Right, like that's just the reality of it, and so like it's. I saw somebody post something the other day, and they were bragging about how sold a house in 30 days. Like that's the kind of marketing that like I'm seeing is like, hey, usually it takes 90 days, and it only took 30 days, and like the reality of it is like condition matters, pricing matters, but most importantly, the market is slightly pivoted, and like expectation of a seller is what matters the most, and like they need to be educated going into it. I do kind of like, I mean, inventory's going backwards on us. Like, have we hit that kind of bottom of it and it's just going to stable out until we get to the spring market? I just don't think it's what people, I was talking to a friend actually this morning and we were talking about the market, and I was like, people think that they're going to time the bottom of the market. And like, for all I know, it's past, right? Because like, I've got some numbers that are kind of reflecting stabilization and kind of trends in the other areas. But the problem is like the people who want to catch the market as it falls, like you have to be super liquid to do that. Because what people don't think about is as the market falls, so does your livelihood most likely. And so like you're still in the same spot trying to buy something as it goes down, as you have less affordability yourself. And so it just doesn't make sense. And so like I wish we'd kind of reframe kind of like how we're looking at this. Like it's almost like people are wishing for the downfall of certain things which will negatively impact others, to include themselves, and they just don't think about it, all because somebody wants something that maybe they shouldn't be reaching for in the first place. Because interest rates are like a full point lower than they were a year ago. You know, it's about the
you
cost
can't
of
time
living
real
is
estate.
expensive.
Nobody's ever been able to time real estate, or everybody would be a millionaire. So that's not possible.
Yeah.
Real quick, over 2024, active inventory in Brown County is up 45%. They're the number one county in the donut counties, and the second one is Hancock County, is up 39%. So that's active inventory. Days on market in past Hamilton County is number one of all the counties in Mybor area. Over 2024, we're up 54.5% on days on market. And Hancock is number two at 49% higher in days on market. Johnson County has had the smallest increase in active listings at 8%, but their new listings are down 8% in Johnson County. So that's the county. Inventory year over year for all of the donut counties is up 23%, and inventory starts to make the prices stabilize.
Correct. Yeah. So it's what people
that's
want.
That's kind of what we're seeing. These are stats directly from Mybor.
I mean, we're talking about average days on market that people think is like so foreign because of what we've been used to over the past couple of years. But like when I got into the industry, like average days on market was 6 months.
Oh yeah.
Like we're like
it's
30
a normal
and 60
market.
days.
Yeah, we're
It's
still
nuts.
very good for people. They also say that it's about 73% of the agents currently working have not been in the market before 2020, so they've never even seen a normal market with these kind of days on market.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
thank you again
thank you
so
for
much,
coming on,
Nate.
man.
How can people
We're gonna
reach out
bore
to
you? With
you?
all of that.
No, I love it. That's really interesting. I got into, like, I get on these random tangents. So I got into real estate in like 2020.
Yeah.
So I ended up, my college roommate and I bought 2 rental properties around Broad Ripple.
Good for
So like
you.
learning about like interest rates and all the jazz of the whole thing has been really interesting. So,
Good for you.
yeah, it's interesting to
Keep
hear
buying
about.
them. You're young. Keep buying them.
That's what they say. Don't sell. And we just keep rolling. So, I mean, we got lucky too. Like 2020 was when we got one. Like, so we, again, normal, they were normal priced houses.
Yeah.
Like, again, like, and
now
there's a new normal, you
Yeah.
know, and it's a desirable area, all that fun stuff. But thank you so much for the time today. It was great to hang out with y'all. I'm Nate Spangle. You can find me at Nate Spangle everywhere on social media, YouTube,
Everywhere.
all the fun stuff. And, or you can check out our website, getindiana.com. We post guides to a road trip through southern Indiana you've never heard of, or hidden gems, news, all things that make you happy. We put out a weekly newsletter, all things that make you happy, exciting, uplifting,
And they can
positive
get on
news.
your newsletter?
Yeah, all at getindiana.com.
By reaching out to you?
Yeah, getindiana.com. It's right there. Appreciate it. Keep up the good work. Keep charging forward up here on the north side. It's fun. And I know Hancock County is also growing like crazy.
It's massive. Like, it's nuts. When I was out there, when we moved out there, it's nuts.
Can I give you a recommendation?
Yeah.
All right, this is how we're going to decide if you are a foodie or not.
Okay.
There is one place and one place only in the state of Indiana that I know of that you can get an oil change, a car wash, and a breaded pork tenderloin. Mike's Express Car Wash and Grill in Greenfield, Indiana.
And grill.
In Greenfield. Dude, it's called the Zaza Zuper. The Zaza Zuper is a tenderloin smothered in gravy. Very, very good.
Oh, my gosh.
It's like $5 at this place. You can drop your car off. I think you can get a car wash and an oil change. And you can eat. There's like a $3 milkshake. And there's like a $5 tenderloin called the Zaza Zuper.
Dude, my wife is taking my son to get his first oil change today, and I like at 2:30, and I'm going to tell him.
Mike's
like,
Express Car Wash.
Yeah.
It's right in
Greenfield.
It's like off of. I think that might be 40. I think it might. Is 40 the go through? What's the road?
40.
Yeah, is it 40? Mm-hmm. Check the Mike's Express Car Wash and Grill. It's spectacular.
And grill.
And the food.
Mozzie's
That's
pizza
funny.
out there.
Dude,
and
the
everything.
food is actually worth it. Like I was like, okay, we're eating oil change
Yeah,
food
yeah.
here, but no, it was good. Very
Sounds
nice.
horrible.
Good milkshake.
That's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna check
The
that out.
information you have is fabulous.
Yeah. But yeah, so anybody who please follow him. He has amazing content, and I mean, I'm getting texts while we're dealing with this, being like, "Ask you this, ask you that." I'm like, chill out, guys. You know what I mean?
love it.
We'll have you back. And we
Yeah.
can have an open forum on Facebook and start just
there we
drilling
go.
you.
That would be
Live
awesome.
stream.
If you need to get a hold of me, I'm Kyle Morris. My number is 317-649-5122.
And Shelly Walters with the Shelly Walters Realty Group, FC Tucker, 317-201-2601. Thanks. See you next week.